to GVI Digital Classes. Today we are going to discuss notes writing. What is notes? Notes is a written information people know about event or activity. For instance, any activity or any event that is happening, you need to write the notes about that. It is a common method of communication. People generally communicate to their subordinates through notes. And what is it all about? It is mode of information of very important event. So we can say it's a tool. It's a tool of communication. Is a tool of communication that gives information of an event. In schools, you might have seen how many times you get the notice from the office describing an event or activity. And what is most important is in notes is the information that is given. The information that is drained in the notes, that is given in the notes, must be precise. You need to be very brief. So one of the important features of notes writing is that information must be written very briefly, and in not only briefly, it should be accurate as well. So we have seen a notes is a tool of communication that drains information of an event, but the information must be, I told you it should be brief, accurate and informal language. Remember, it should be brief, it should be accurate, it should be informal language. And notice includes only one topic. Remember, this is very important. You cannot discuss topics in notes. It only discusses one topic. If you have many topics to discuss, you can replace notes with circular. So the question is, if you have to discuss one event, you need to rely on notes. If you have more than information, one information to be given publicly, then you need to rely on circular. So let us see first of all the format of notes, how it is written, and what are the requirements of notes writing. First, draw a box. Supposing this is a box, and this section, I will call this section number 1. I will divide it into groups. This is one section number 1. And this is in section 2, 3, 4, and here is section 5. Now let us discuss one by one what are these sections. In section number 1, here, write the name of organization, school, etc. Bold letters. So this section is meant to write the name of organization of the school or the authority that is issuing in bold letters. After that, come to this section. Write down date. Very important is write down the name. And important in this section, this portion, write down the word notes in capital letters. Section 1 covers the name of the organization or the name of the school. Section 2 covers the date. this is between 1 and 3. Write down the word notes in capital letters, and if possible write it bold letters. After that, this section, it is similar to that of the subject of the letter. We call it nature of notes. When you write the letter, you write the subject. In notes, we write this nature of the notes. It describes briefly the crux of the notes. After that, this body of the notes, it answers number 1, or it answers 9 W's. And notes must answer 9 W's. Like, what is going to happen, where, when, why, how, who is going to take part, which, etc. So they must answer these questions. In notes, remember, you need to answer these questions. And after answering these questions, take one thing into consideration. You have to be very brief, and then there should be coherence, right? Third, give accurate information along with accurate date, venue. So this body actually is the main important aspect of the notes, which covers the 9 W's. And in this section, you need to answer these questions briefly, and there should be coherence and accurate information. Date and venue must be mentioned properly. And this section is issuing authority. Who is issuing these notes? Is it from principal? Is it from account section? Is it from HOD? Or is it from academic head or activity in charge? So this notes is, once again I will say, in this section you write the name of the organization, the school. Here, write down the date line. Write down the word notes in capital letters between 1 and 3. In this section you have to write subject or the nature of notes. This is wherein you need to write the notes. It has its requirement is it must answer all these W's, but the answer must be brief and date and venue must be properly written. Now the question is, if you have one or more topic to be discussed, to be sent to the public, to be sent to the audience, to be sent to the notes board, then you can replace notes with circulars. Circular is a kind of a letter. Remember, is a kind of a letter with direct salutation. With direct salutation. It also helps us in covering many topics, which is unlike to the notes. Remember, in notes, topic is specific, but in there can be many topics. And one more important thing in the notes is, when you are writing a notes, remember it should be in box. Second, do not change, do not alter the positions of its components, and at the end you can close the box. This is how we make notes. And one important thing that is to be seen in the notes is, in this section, in the body section of the notes, it is not necessary that all the 9 questions must be answered. Whatever be the requirement of the question, you can answer those questions from this section, and not try to answer every question. Whatever be the requirement of the question, you take the notes, you take the questions from this section and try to answer them briefly. And it should, in most of the cases in examination, I have seen people writing notes in the half page or the second page. Please don't avoid that. Write the notes in the first page, because notes cannot be printed in the 2 pages. It is only if it is exceeding, then I told you, if it is proceeding, if exceeds the limit of, or it exceeds the topic, you have to replace the notes with circulars. So circulars have a wide range to reach people in short time, while as notes are fixed on the notes boards. Circulars are given one-to-one. You might have received many circulars about your picnic or your syllabus term examination, in which there are so many instructions, but notes can only give you the date, venue and the time, while a circular can give you not only the date, not only the time, but instructions of the examination, instructions about bus, instructions about uniform, hall tickets, etc. So if you have short, brief information to be given to the public, remember, you need to write notes. And if you have subjects, different topics regarding one subject and the sub-themes of the subject, please replace notes with circular. So today we have seen not only notes but also circular. An important thing when you are writing circular, like notes, it has similar name of the organization, name of the date, but in case of circular, you have to add one more important component here, that is circular number. Every circular has its number. Remember, we require to write circular numbers in circular, and there is no need of writing notes number in the notes. This is one more difference. Second, in case of circulars, do not use word notes. No need to write the word circular. You can omit this, but in place of this, you have to write circular numbers. And circulars too, like notes, have the subject. You have to write the subject matter in this. And in notes, in the body, not only you can answer all the questions, you can elaborate. And there you can elaborate, you can write in bullet heads as well. For example, date of examination, fee, booklets, about bus timing, about uniform, about hall ticket. You can write, you can use bullets, but in notes that is not possible. That was all about how you write notes and circulars, their difference. Now you need to practice at home till we'll do another video which will cover our other topics. Till then, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.